Hey everybody, my name's Kayla and welcome to my channel. So today I decided to start with the new to Booktube tag, and I've got my handy little notes to remember the questions. But I figured this would be a good way to introduce myself and kind of let you guys know what to expect from my channel, and just to get to know a little bit about me. So this was created by Trina, I believe, at Between Chapters, and I'll leave that original video link down below. And let's get started. So the first question is, where are you joining us from? I am currently living in North Carolina. The second question is, how old are you? I'm 28. The third question is, why did you join Booktube? So I joined it because I'm in grad school and I kind of want a creative outlet for my energy and just, something different from my dissertation. But I love to read, and I have been getting a lot of good recommendations from Booktube myself. So I decided to join, and since everybody has different tastes, I figure perhaps my book recommendations to you can be also very helpful. Okay, so question 4 is, what's the meaning behind your channel name? So the channel name is Krakentoagoodbook, and my mythological spirit animal is the Kraken, and it's connected to reading, and I just couldn't resist making a bad pun. Okay, so question 5 is, what types of books do you read and want to talk about here? So I typically read more adult sci-fi and fantasy. I also dabble a little bit in mystery, thriller type books, maybe a little romance, occasionally some nonfiction, but that's not super common. And I've been getting a little into YA sci-fi and fantasy, but I tend to read more adult sci-fi fantasy anyway. Okay, so question 6 are, who are some of your favorite authors? It's a hard question because, I've got so many. But I would say probably Brandon Sanderson, for sure. Jim Butcher, Alona Andrews, Patricia Briggs. We'll just start with those. Those are a good sample. Okay, what's the last book I read? Layover by David Bell. So I actually won this in a Goodreads giveaway from the publisher, I believe. But it's just a little thriller about this guy who flies frequently and happens to meet this woman in the Atlanta airport, I think. But she suddenly, they get to talking, she kisses him, and then is like, oh, I'm never gonna see you again. And he's, a little intrigued and basically tries to go after her, and then figures out that she's a missing person, and then, there's this separate case of this dude disappearing. So we've got perspectives from the guy flying, and then a woman detective who's trying to figure out how these cases all relate to each other. So, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was quite fast paced. I did enjoy it, but I don't know if I would necessarily reread it again. So, it was a fun summer read, we shall say. Okay. Anyway, question 8. What are you currently reading? Currently reading Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. This has been out for quite a while, but I was slow to join the YA fantasy train here. But I believe this is just basically an Ursula origin story. So I'm only 54 pages in, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, question 9 is, what do you use for bookmarks? I'll actually just pull it out of my book here. See if you can see this. This is a wood bookmark that I got in Hawaii, so we've got the little pineapple and says Hawaii down here, and then just a little dangly bit. But I've been using it for several years and I like it. Okay, question 10 is, show us your current TBR pile. So that is a little challenging because it's kind of spread out everywhere. I'll show you one chunk of it. So we've got some books here, and a stack of books here. Didn't fully pull that out. And we've got more books over here. So that's just a brief taste. 7 is a sort of this or that question. So which do you prefer, hardcover or paperback? I actually don't really care. I guess just from a comfort standpoint of holding the book, I would say paperback. But, that doesn't really... Oh, and price point, paperback is way better. But yeah, I just generally don't care. If it's a book that I really want to buy, then I'm going to get it in hardcover when it comes out instead of waiting. So the next part is ebooks or physical. I do actually have a Kindle, so I do read some ebooks, but I tend to prefer physical just because I'm sure, as many people feel the same way. You know, I just like the feeling of the physical book in my hand. But I will say, for traveling purposes, the Kindle is way nicer because, you know, when I was younger, I used to have to pack like 20 books to get me through a trip. And, you know, there's always the anxiety of, am I going to run out of a book? I don't know. But yeah, so the Kindle is really nice for that because you can always buy more books if you need. Okay, and then the last part is, do you prefer to own or borrow books? I generally prefer to own them because again, I'm sure many people are like this, but I like the idea of having my own library, and, you know, it'd be nice to be like Belle and have the little rolling ladder thing on bookshelves. So, you know, ultimate goals here. Okay, so question 12 is, what book or series got you into reading? And I honestly don't remember. My parents started reading to me when I was basically born, I think. So, you know, it's just always been a part of my life. So I can't really like name a particular series that got me into reading. I know when I was younger, I really loved Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. So maybe that, I don't know. But I think probably around 4th grade, I found the Tamara Pierce series and really loved that. So that's probably like what got me into fantasy. But, you know, it's hard to say. I've been reading for my entire life, so, you know, not one particular book that stands out in my mind as getting me into reading. So question 13 is, how did you discover Booktube? I believe I was searching for what kind of book subscription box I wanted. And this took me quite some time to figure it out. So I was, you know, looking around to see if I could find some unboxings of what's typical in some of these book boxes. And I think I found Chelsea Palmer, who I'll also link down below because she's really great. But she was unboxing the Unplugged book box, which I ultimately did decide to sign up for, especially once they came out with their adult subscription box. I was like, yeah, this sounds perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, so then, you know, I started watching her videos and just kind of, I guess, explored out that way, and watched some videos that YouTube recommended, which, like, is sometimes hit or miss, but I found some good booktubers overall. So question 14 is, what challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? And I think the biggest one is just managing time. I've heard most booktubers talk about, like, you know, what surprises you after starting your own channel, and I think the number one thing that seems to come up is just how much of a time commitment it is. And, you know, I've never really edited videos before, so I don't know what to expect there. And like I said, I think earlier, I'm in grad school, so I do need to work on my dissertation, but, you know, I think it'll be a good investment of my time just to have something different to do. And then I think just trying to get seen may be difficult. I'm not really sure. You know, like, I'm not in this to get tons and tons of followers, but that, I mean, obviously that would be lovely. But, you know, if I can help somebody out and to find a good book and make some friends along the way, that's, you know, that's fabulous. Okay, and then question 15 is, where else can we find you? So this one's like a little tricky. I do have like a Goodreads page and a private Instagram, but I'm not really sure I want to make those public because I kind of want to keep a separation between like my professional life and my booktube life. So I think for now I'm not going to link those up, but you know, maybe I'll create like a specific Bookstagram account and link that. But if I do decide, you know, change my mind on that, I will certainly let you guys know and leave it linked down so you can see it. So yeah, I think that'll do it for my first video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.